As we all know, QD students love to start their sentences with, as we all know. Teachers, we groan when we see that. We scratch it out. Beauty is kind of like that, isn't it? Isn't beauty something we all know? John O'Donoghue, an Irish poet and philosopher, said, "Our idea of beauty is impoverished because we have reduced beauty to good looks." There's a whole cult where everybody is trying to look youthful. People have facelifts, and they try endless methods to try to look youthful. But this is not beauty at all. Today, I would like to suggest that we too scratch out this inadequate understanding of beauty. I believe John O'Donoghue was right, and that beauty must go beyond attractiveness. In fact, beauty must inspire us, and then beauty ultimately should transform us. My journey to understanding beauty began as a 7-year-old. In a very big rectangular room, there were about 100 people. The children, students were sitting cross-legged on mats on the floor. Parents and teachers sat in rows at the back. 2 parents were asked to address the crowd. My friend Marie's mom stood before us. Beautiful, flowery summer dress. Sunglasses perched stylishly on her head. Makeup making her face look radiant. She stood tall, made even taller by her high heels. She spoke to us in flawless English. Everyone was in rapt attention because there was this woman of class, poise, and style. The next moment, panic gripped me as I saw a tired, middle-aged lady get up to speak. Her clothes were obviously homemade from some cheap fabric. Her hair slightly disheveled. There seems to be some weight on her shoulders as her shoulders sagged. She seemed obviously out of place. And then haltingly, she began to speak to us in Fujianhua. My panic turned into shame. Why can't my mom be more like Marie's? I dropped my head to the ground. I did not want to meet my mom's eyes. I did not want anybody else to know that I'm associated with her. In my 7-year-old mind, Marie's mom is beautiful. My mom was not. 40 years later, I would come to understand that beauty goes way beyond attractiveness. Beauty must inspire us. Now, my mom had a very difficult life. When she was 2, she lost her father. Her mom, probably depressed, became a gambler. So mom, in fact, actually literally raised herself up. The very month that she was enrolled to start school, the Japanese dropped bombs over Singapore. And for the next 3 years during the Japanese occupation, mom had to dress up like a boy to try to avoid sexual assaults. She had to use her street smarts. She got stuff from the Japanese and then later sold it to the British, just to keep the family alive. At 20 years old, mom got married to dad through an arranged marriage. Now, she had no education and no family to depend on. And single-handedly, she would go on to raise 9 children. Right, no family planning. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here speaking to you because I am number 9. Now, father would often gamble away his paychecks. One day, father told mom, "Let's put away all your dowry jewelry, including your wedding ring, to this hiding place for safekeeping." A few days later, mom would discover to her horror that every last piece of jewelry has gone missing because dad has taken it all and pawned it away. With no source of income, many hungry mouths to feed, loan sharks banging at the door, mom was desperate. And she found herself slowly climbing up 16 floors in the highest building around the neighborhood. When she came to the parapet, She was choked with despair. But the one thing crossed her mind. She had a newborn baby. If she ended it all now, who is going to take care of her children? Who is going to take care of that little one? And so, with vision blurred with tears, she made a radical decision. She turned around, walked down those very steps. She decided that she would go find a job and raise those kids somehow. And this is what she did. Mom went to the hospital and became an ama. Now, what is an ama? It is a little above the janitorial staff, but in the hospital totem pole, it really was the lowest position. Mom would find herself pushing dead bodies to the morgue at 3 a.m. in the morning. She would witness accidents so horrific that the blood would cause us all to pass out. And every day she would walk to and from work just to save 10 cents. The amazing thing was, through all of this, and at the end of each day, she had to come home, she had to make meals, she had to do laundry by hand, she had to keep house. And growing up, I have never ever heard my mom complain. And it was amazing that she would always still have a smile for her brood, just as this picture testifies, as Mom celebrates my first birthday. Unfortunately, it would take being a mom myself before I could fully appreciate what my mom has done for me. You know, with all my modern gadgets, I just have to take care of two. And I found that it was the most mind-numbing, exhausting work I've ever done. Imagine going 3 straight years with a lack of sleep. Wait a minute, you are QD students. You understand that. You know, as I grew older, the beauty of my mom's life unfolded before me as I got to know her better. And she inspires me. Because Mom never lived as a victim of circumstances. She lived into each new day with courage, resourcefulness, and determination. She never let her past determine her future. And this is why my mother is beautiful to me, because she inspires me to live fully into each new day too, no matter what the circumstances. After Mom retired, she would go around visiting her grandchildren, cooking them their favorite meals. She was part of an NGO where she would bring meals to the elderly who lived alone. She even managed a thrift store for the poor. She started swimming lessons and English classes. She was a picture of health and vitality in her 70s. And then, while on vacation in Australia, Mom would meet her demise. On this very road to Albany, in the car that my brother was driving, as the car swerved, it hit a tree. When the ambulance arrived and loaded Mom on the ambulance, she was conscious. But by the time the ambulance arrived at the hospital, she was pronounced dead. I flew 33 hours from Chicago to Perth. It was the longest flight of my life. And in that flight, I cannot help but recall a vivid conversation I had with my mom. Mom had told me, if I were to go, I want to go quickly. Now, it's not because Mom was afraid of pain, but it was because she did not want to burden any of her children. You see, Mom had decided that she would always give to us, not just in her life, but also in her death. To Mom, life is not a transaction. She did not give to us because she wanted to get something back in return. And I cannot help but wonder if there are so many tiger moms and dads, myself included. Maybe we view our relationship with our children as a transaction. I have given up my career. I have given up my dreams, my freedom, my sleep. Now, show me those good grades. Be that perfect child. It's all a transaction. Even as children do their part to please their parents until they go overseas somewhere to college and find their freedom. Sounds familiar. Mom's life and death is changing me. As she showed me how I can live life to give without expecting in return. And this particularly has rescued my relationship with my children. Because as I learned to give to them without expecting anything in return, I also discovered that I can enjoy them for who they are rather than who I want them to be. Today, when people mention the word beauty, I think of my mom immediately. Because through my mom's life and death, I now learn that beauty goes way beyond attractiveness. That beauty first inspires us, and beauty ultimately transforms us. 40 years ago, Mom spoke in Fujianhua, and I felt ashamed of her. Today, I stand here so proud of my mom, that I have a beautiful mom who has taught me what beauty is. And in my childhood language, I want to say, Ma, wa tia li, gam xia li.